All right, everybody, what's going on? Happy Wednesday to you and yours. We're back. We're live for another episode of the Ragni Show, and I am so excited to talk to this guy. It's a scary thought. Like I had to go back and look. The last time I talked to this guy was literally 5 years ago.
Was it 5?
It was 5 years
I
ago.
guess it would have been 5 now. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's
Wow.
welcome him back to the show. Well, it's a new show technically now. Mr. Russ Hewitt. Russ. Welcome
How
back,
are you,
man.
sir? Absolutely, man. Thank you for
Uh,
having me.
You know what? It's funny. Like we just talked real quick for like 2-3 minutes before we went live, and instantly it flashed me back to when we did that first interview 5 years ago. Um, and I still say this every time I see you on Facebook. I just say to myself, "Man, that was one of the best people I ever talked to. Such a nice guy, and I had so much fun."
Oh, well, thank you. We all have so much in common. We were just talking about, and again, congratulations on your journey to weight loss.
Thank
I've
you.
been following you along the Facebook, and it's a process, and people don't appreciate and realize that. But I mean, as complete strangers, we can probably talk for days on music, on bands, on food, it's so easy to connect with somebody if you
Yeah.
just give a little effort. If you just spend the time and say, hey, let's see what we have in common.
It's true. And what's funny too, like with this world of social media, like on one hand, it's like an amazing tool. It can bring so much together. We can, work to promote your projects and things you're working on. But like for instance, I have, I don't know, 2,300 friends, and I think I still talk to the same 5 people. Like there's other 2,200 people. I don't know what they're doing, but the only time you hear from them is your birthday, which is a beautiful thing.
Right. Well, if you pay Facebook $5, they'll let you access your other friends. You know that,
right. You know what? It's funny. A friend of mine back in Philadelphia who owns a comic book store. He was texting me yesterday morning because he put a post out about something I don't know, about his store, but he like worded it right so there was going to be interaction. And he was like all happy. He's like, look at this. I had like over 200 comments and so many likes. He's like, and I didn't pay for it. And he was, it's like now I said, you know what? The scary part is the last few times I actually paid for something, still nobody saw it.
Oh, how funny. Well, that should be another show too, where we just talk about comics. That would be interesting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, wow, 5 years, like, so much has happened in 5 years. I mean, between you making more music, me losing weight and moving to Nashville, the world going through a pandemic.
Right.
How was that for you? I mean, as a musical artist, did it? I mean, a lot of people, it seems like when it happened, and I did the same, and not as a musical artist, just as a person, and I found like the best way to create outlets to do things.
Well, it was, I would have a running joke just kind of mentally in my head, like, I wish the world would stop for a year so I can catch up with everything. And it kind of inadvertently did. But, I was able to utilize the time. I had a bucket list of things I needed to get to. I needed to edit and get together a bunch of videos. I had a bunch of files to go through. I had a bunch of house stuff I needed to deal with. There was so much that I was able to utilize that time. I was able to finish writing and recording my latest album. Gig wise, I mean, across the board, everything pretty much trickled to a stop. And then, things picked up slowly, some things here and there. Luckily, my wife was able to work from home. I've got some rental properties. I had other income coming through.
Mm-hmm.
So although musically, everything stopped what I was doing, I was able to utilize that time. And like most musicians now, I'm kind of ready to get back to where we are and what we're doing and and be a musician again.
Sure. Sure. Did you start going into like a big writing process because you had that downtime? Was it, were ideas flowing, or was it kind of like, you know what, maybe I need to like take a break and just step away and let things clear for a little bit, clear my head, clear, that creative process?
It was actually just the opposite. The album was recorded, so we utilized this time to mix, to get the right balances, and then it was just a matter of, do I release it now? Do I wait? Should I do videos? Should I not do videos? The best decision I made was to wait, because of waiting, the opportunity to record with the essentially the Romanian National Symphony Orchestra presented itself.
Okay.
And then the Nuno video presented itself. So had it come out sooner, because it was actually this time last year, I released the first single. And the process was, the new trend is to release singles. And as opposed to just one big album and it's a big pop and it kind of fades away. The singles, I can kind of stay on top of the news cycle a little bit, and then take those singles plus the unreleased tracks and then do a full album, release it then. But it was this time, it was in March of last year, I released the first single that featured Ardashir Farah from Struns and Farah. And then the next single was with Jorge Struns from Struns and Farah.
Okay.
And the next single was going to be this song called Amor Pidilla, which is a slower kind of ballad song that features a milonga rhythm.
Okay.
And about that time, a friend of mine who does all my orchestration for the symphonies and orchestras contacted me and said, "Hey, I've been contacted by these people from the Romanian National Symphony. They're looking to do some music other than your typical classical stuff. They want to kind of do what the London Philharmonic does, which is movie scores, pop albums, classical stuff, everything from rap to Adele to you name it." So they're wanting to branch out. Okay. So my friend presented my music and they loved it. And what we did was do one of my old songs, which will be released later. And then we did one of the new songs, which became the next single. But because that happened, it took like 3 or 4 months from the start of it to by the time it got the song mixed and the video edited, which then pushed all the other singles further. And then the opportunity with Nuno to record a video for the song that he did with me, then kind of pushed it further. So, had I rushed and just did the full album last March, I would have missed these other opportunities.
Well, now, was that like, was it driving you crazy? Because going back to social media, like I'm a type of person and I catch myself all the time and it's always too late where like, and I don't know what the rush is, but like in my head, it's like, I need to get this like post out that I think that is amazing to promote something. And I do it and I'm like rushing to do it. And I don't know why I'm rushing to do it, but I have like this thing in my head. I need to rush to do it to get it out. And then after I get it out, I'm like, I forgot to put this and I forgot to put that. And I was and it's such a rush. And I don't have the patience for some reason. I don't know what it is in me, but I don't have the patience to wait. So you had this pretty much recorded, but you were able to go back and do all this other stuff. But it wouldn't have happened if you hadn't have waited. But inside, was it killing you? Like were you looking at rush to like I would do?
Oh man, this Nuno song I've been sitting on for like a year and a half. So it's been sitting there, like
I would have lost my mind.
From the moment he agreed to do it, to getting the track, to mixing it, and then doing the video. And I've had this video done for 3 months now. But
jeez,
then we were getting close to the holidays. Like, why don't we release it to the holidays? Um, so yeah, so like, so then when my friends get it's like, hey, that's incredible. I'm like, yeah, no, it's not new to me. It's new to them, but it's like, I've been, it's the same thing, even with this next single, which unfortunately I don't have the video, but the next single with the next surprise artist I've had for a year and something. And I'm like, I'm dying for people to hear it, but I gotta now do the whole cycle with Nuno first before I start
Right.
to hype the next one.
Well, it's funny because as I well, first off, the song with Nuno, it's freaking amazing, and I remember, like I said this to you before when I talked to you before, the music you make on that guitar is just it's beautiful. It's you make that guitar sing beautifully, and it's literally like I'm like it's talking to me. Like the words are like popping into my head. I'm like, oh, there could be like beautiful lyrics to this and everything, but it's not even needed. But I'm thinking to myself, that would be kind of a cool idea, almost kind of like what Slash did a few years ago, where he had different vocalists on each song.
Sure.
I was wondering if Russ would have like a different special artist, like a Nuno, pop in on each song. That would be kind of wild.
Yeah, no, that's, that, the mind can, I've got all kinds of ideas, it's just, it's implementing them and being able to make it happen. But yeah, it's,
Sure.
With this album, particularly more, because usually on my last couple of albums, I've had one or two special guest soloists, plus the normal, incredible backing band that I have. But for this album, I've got 5 guest soloists. The Struns and Farrar guys were my idols.
Wow.
And that was incredible. Nuno is a guitar legend. The next guy after him is a guitar legend.
Okay.
And so and I'm just kind of making my own dreams come true. It's like, wouldn't it be neat if I did this? And then I just kind of find a way, to make it happen. So, it's been cool, but I've toyed around with vocals there for a while. Not sure how to approach it exactly, but in terms of just bringing in special guests and heroes and idols of mine, I've been fortunate enough to actually make that happen.
So these other artists, the ones that you put out before the Nuno one, and you just said they were like your idols. So I mean, that's got to be scary. Like for me, my musical idol has been Randy Rhoads for years.
Of course.
So if Randy Rhoads came back from the grave and I had the opportunity to let alone talk to the guy, but to make music with him, I mean that's like stuff. Movies are made of stuff like that. So how was that for you?
Well, it was very incredible. It's Struns and Farrar. When I heard their live album that they put out in '97, it changed what I thought was possible for the guitar, in the sense that incredible melodies, complex rhythms, but listener accessible, and then soloing just beyond belief. So I've been fortunate enough to become friends with them. Every time I'm in LA, I do a lesson with Jorge Struns, and I'll hang out with Ardashir Farrar. And apparently, according to Ardashir, this is the first time in the 40-year history of Struns and Farrar that they've both appeared on the same album, but not on the same track. So, just having them there, it made me step up my game, but it also made me feel like welcome to the club kind of things.
Yeah.
Like they thought well enough of me or the song or the music or my playing that they chose to do it. Same thing with any of them. I mean, because they don't owe me anything. If someone, if they didn't believe in me or the song or like what I was doing, they don't have to do anything. So it was pretty incredible to have, any of these guys play on my stuff.
Now, how about does it come down to a situation like where you get like I don't know if you were in the studio with them or if you were emailing the tracks back and forth, but you get in a situation like you think to yourself, it's good, but I know they can do better, and you got to ask them to do it again. Like, does it come down to that situation?
No, it's just the opposite. It's when I get the tracks back or when I have those players in the studio,
Okay.
I go, oh, that's how it's done. That's, that's they come in and they just nail it. They read it down. They play it. They're in the pocket, in the groove. Like I've had to go back and readjust what I've done after I've received what they've done to my song. It's like I got to step up my game even a little further, because they're just they are who they are for a reason. It's the level of playing, phrasing, professionalism makes me like, okay, I need to step up my game.
Right. Did you walk away from any of this like learning something new from them too?
Everything,
Wow.
just there's you can learn something from all of these players.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way they approach it. It's just interesting because I have time to work out the song and work out my solos, and when I present it and I get it back, it's interesting to hear their approach on it. I was like,
Right.
oh, so that's how they're approaching this particular thing. So there's I mean, anytime I'm in the studio, anytime I'm playing with anybody, I'm always learning something, sometimes what to do, sometimes what not to do.
Right.
So yeah, it's a never ending learning process.
So the song with Nuno, how did that whole thing come about?
So I've known Nuno for a while. I've known him for like 10 plus years. And I
Oh
just
wow.
knew
Okay.
it. I knew at some point, I was going to present him a song.
Mm-hmm.
And, but it has to be harmonically and musically interesting enough. Just can't like, hey, I just wrote a song yesterday, play on it. So I knew after I wrote this song, because we were in the studio as a trio, the drums and the bass, and they were just slamming.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, wow, there's such in a groove, there's such a feel and vibe there that I think Nuno would get into it. And every time I've ever talked to Nuno, our conversations just lead itself to like Spanish and flamenco players.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew, he loves the style. He's a fan of the style. And so once the song was done and had a rough mix of it, I sent it up and asked if that, this is something that he'd be interested in or that he'd want to do. And he said, yeah. And it was just a matter of timing. I think he was doing some big shows and some touring and
Mm-hmm.
so forth. Said, I'd love to do it. Let me finish, X, Y, and Z. I think the Axe generation had some shows in Japan after the tour that he had to do and that he was going to get to it afterwards.
Wow.
So, by the time he got to it and he sent it up, it sounded incredible.
It's amazing.
And then, then I did the ask, of course, which was, you think you can do a video for this too? and he said, yeah. And once I got his video back, it kind of, what I was going to do took direction. Like if he was, whatever he did, I would mirror. If he was in the studio, I would do the studio. If he was in a subway, I'd be in a subway. But since he was outside in the field, at dusk or dawn, it's probably dusk, and had this big majestic landscape,
Mm-hmm.
then that's what I was going to do. So I just mirrored whatever he did.
So that's interesting. So you guys really didn't even talk about an idea for the video. Like he shot that and then gave it to you, and then you expanded on it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty wild. That's pretty wild. See, because I was even thinking like because what I noticed was, he shot his, and I was thinking to myself, was there a reason, like when you shot your part, it's all like daylight, bright and sunny, and then his is like you said, it's a dawn or dusk.
Yeah. Okay. So I've been watching my phone juice go down.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, I'm at 2% now.
Oh boy.
So
should we get the plugs out right away? The song is called Chasing Horizons.
Yes, Chasing Horizons. Let me plug in. I don't know how I can do this because the headphones are attached to the power. Let me just see real quick. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay. This is live. This would be technically live TV, everybody. So you always keep your phone charged. You never know what's going to happen. Let's see. Hopefully the phone doesn't die. Let's see.
Okay. Am I at a weird echo for you still?
Yes.
Yes. Let's see. Let me think of some options. Should I? Oh, I've got an iPad. You want me to? Can I just do it on my iPad?
Absolutely.
Okay. 2 seconds.
You got it. So everybody, take a break. Have some water. And if you have questions, type them in. We'll put them up on the screen to answer them.
I'm juiced back up to 10%.
There you
go. We'll have to do it that way.
There you go. Gotta love it, right? Live TV.
Well, what's it's a little rock and roll for you there.
There you go. So you guys filmed that at 2 different times, and you basically built off his idea.
Yeah, so it just, I got lucky. I went to San Miguel, Mexico, and about an hour outside of San Miguel, I found this small town that had like 100 people that lived there. There was an old mission that was in ruins. There was the new church. Behind the new church were 30-foot cactuses. So my whole trip, I was just hoping, maybe I could at least get this video done. And this was the first stop, first location. And after like 4 hours, we had the whole thing shot and done. Yeah.
It came out amazing. It's pretty. See, that's pretty crazy how I'm thinking one thing. I'm sure other people, when they see it, are thinking something too. And it was nothing that any of us were thinking.
Yeah, no, it was, like I said, I just got lucky. I got lucky on the location. I got lucky that he filmed it. I got lucky on, um, yeah, it came together. I couldn't have scripted it better than how it came out.
That's awesome. Now,
Yeah.
when you guys, when you did the song itself and you sent it to him and he agrees to do it, do you like say to him like, look, don't like go crazy and don't outshine me or anything like that?
No, it's actually just the opposite. Like I want Nuno to be full Nuno.
Nice.
Just do your deal. Now I did adjust my soloing because his solo went first. So I adjusted how I went into my solo coming out of his. So I had to change kind of his feel and his vibe. And then the other thing is what I changed was I just changed one kind of ending lick at the end of the song. But I basically kept it the same, but I wanted, again, just Nuno to be full Nuno, just, whatever he was going to do, just don't hold back.
Right, right. We have a question here for you. Let's see. From Leona, she asked, "Have you ever heard Jeff Young's guitar playing acoustic soul work? He's awesome, and this type of collaborative talent."
I love Jeff Young. In fact, we've just recently kind of reconnected again. Wow. And he's back in LA and he's doing a ton of stuff. I would almost suspect that we'll probably do something together in the future.
Oh, no. Now, is that Jeff who used to play in Megadeth?
Yeah, that
wow.
Jeff.
Okay. Very cool. Now, how about here's a guitar question for you, and I was thinking about it. Was when I was growing up, like I mentioned, like Randy Rhoads was my favorite guitarist.
Mm-hmm.
My mom would always tell me, she'd always say to me, "You want to hear a guitarist? Do you know who the guitarist you need to listen to is?" And she would always say Charo.
She was great. She is totally underrated. She could play. I mean, she has her thing. She could sing and she could dance. She can play the guitar. She was great. I enjoyed her. Not trying to be rude here. So I'm down to 4%. So we're going to figure this out. We're going to make this happen. So as I'm talking to you, I am looking for my new Facebook password. That's not on my iPad. But yeah, so you talk about Randy Rhoads. That was between Randy Rhoads and Rick Emmett from Triumph. Mm-hmm. Those two players, and plus Yngwie and the whole neoclassical thing. Mm-hmm. But those are the players that made me want to get my degree in classical guitar.
Wow.
So that's in Randy Rhoads, there's definitely two different philosophies with guitar soloists. Guys that will just kind of play and do what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. And then there are soloists that make essentially mini songs in their solos. Brian May is the king of that.
Right.
So Randy Rhoads solos and the way he phrases it inspired is my way of writing solos. Like instead of just playing and kind of doing whatever, mm-hmm. It's to sit down, write another song and another melody within the song. Mm-hmm. So that's what I did.
I'm telling you, like like when I listen to you play, it's just like almost like a sense of peacefulness comes over me too.
That's incredible. That's we're always wanting when I write the music, to kind of convey that. So that's okay, babe. I'm down to 2% now. All right. And I can't think of my new password. What would you suggest? Plug in again. Try to find my other phone.
If you want to try that, or well, let's real quick. Let's do this. So you said you're doing this, and then you're going to have some more. So this is going to be from an upcoming full length album, then.
No. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Hold on.
And I think we lost him. Let's see. We're going to hang out for a minute, see if we can get him back. See if he'll come back on. Plugging his phone in. Will he be coming back? Stay tuned to find out on the Bay Ragni Show. I feel like I'm on a cliffhanger of like a Batman episode or something. Oh, let's see. Will Russ be back? If not, check it. The song with Nuno is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to go back and hear those other songs with those other artists he was talking about. But the song with Nuno is called "Chasing Horizons," and you can go on YouTube and watch the video. Please watch the video. It's really amazing, and it's very interesting to hear how they filmed it. It's not what I was expecting at all. But let's see. Hopefully he'll come back on. People are popping on. They're probably wondering, where's Russ? Well, Russ's phone died, and he's trying to charge it to get back on. Let's see. Hopefully he'll be back on in a second with a couple more percentage so we can maybe just wrap up so we don't lose them altogether. But if for people out there watching, if you want to pop some more questions on there, if he pops back on, we'll ask him real quick if we have time. Or ask me questions. Let's see. So Leona knows. Okay, you know Jeff if you're still watching. Jeff was actually my favorite guitar player from Megadeth through the years. That's pretty wild. It's good to see you and know he's still out there playing. Yeah, I got to check it out. He actually, there was a girl that was singing with him a few years ago. She's over in like Germany, Sweden now. Her name's Guernica, and she's a singer in a band called Thunder Mother. And when I interviewed her, we were talking about Jeff Young. That's great. That's great news. My guitarist Hall of Fame list. Number 1 is always Randy Rhoads. Randy Rhoads. I was just thinking about this the other day. George Lynch definitely is top 5 for me. Jakey Lee, maybe. I got to think about that. I'm trying to think. I rattled off a 5 in my head the other day when I was thinking about this. Now I'm drawing a blank. But check Russ out. Russ is absolutely amazing. I love and what I just said to him when his phone died was truly makes beautiful music on that guitar. He really does. I remember when I interviewed him last time, like I was going through listening to his albums and stuff, and go up. He's coming back. He's coming back. Let's see, and he's back.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, I hope you'll have me back on your show.
Absolutely.
On the good news, we're back up to 9%. So
nice. So we got a few minutes. So is this going to be of a full length album? This is going to be all together or at some point, or?
Yeah. So I'm going to do the next single is going to be probably sometime in March, and then April. In the next single will be the last one with a special guest artist. And then from there, I'm thinking hopefully sometime in April, I'll put all the singles plus the unreleased tracks.
Nice.
And I've got, when I was down in Mexico doing Nuno's video, I shot 2 other videos down there. So I'll have a lead single and video from that location as well.
Nice. Look at you being proactive.
Well, hey, while you're there,
take full advantage.
Absolutely.
That's great. I'm dying to know who the secret artist is. First of all,
well, you only have like 5 more weeks to wait.
Yeah.
I may slide you a DM on who that is, but
yeah, please do. Like on one hand, I want to say no, don't let me wait, and the other hand, I'm like, no, tell me, please tell me. But yeah, so all right, we got to have you back when that comes out.
Yes,
so we could talk more and let the secret out with the world and everybody, and who this secret artist is. But for now, where should we send everybody? What's the best place to go to see this, hear this? And I want to go back and I got to check out these other songs and this other artist you were telling me. I've never heard of this other artist.
I'll send you a link. Link to their stuff, and it's amazing. But yeah, you can check me out. Russ Hewitt Music is the website. My YouTube channel is Russ Hewitt Music. I'm on Spotify, Pandora, Apple, Tidal, all of that stuff. But yeah, that's with my YouTube channel, I've put out a lot of live shows. With concerts and with my big full band. So just everything is Russ Hewitt or Russ Hewitt Music.
Awesome. Russ, thanks for doing this, first of all.
My pleasure.
Great catching up with you.
Yes.
Beautiful music as always. And
thank you.
I'm glad we reconnected, and let's actually, we'll talk this time and not wait 5 years to do this again.
My pleasure. Hey, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm going to send you some emails when we get off the phone, and
please do.
I look forward to next time.
Absolutely. Yes, we're going to do it very soon.
Yes.
Thanks, Russ. Take care, my friend.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.